Welcome to the Donley Auctions Hour. I am so glad you tuned in. You can find us right here every Saturday evening at 7 p.m. on WLS 890 AM. Hi, I'm Susan, and I'm here today with Randy Donley. We're the owners of Donley Auctions out here in Union, Illinois. We're only about 50 miles west of Chicago, just off of I-90.
We're going to dive into how you can spot some hidden treasures in your own home and potentially turn them into cash by selling them at auction.
And as Randy would say, we're going to make it fit in your wallet.
Check out DonleyAuctions.com to learn more. So, hey, Susan.
Hey, Randy, how are you today? Glad to see you in the studio.
I am happy to be here.
And
Absolutely.
We're here with Ryan Boyle, our sports coin jewelry expert. Is that everything?
Yeah.
I think I hit it all, that's for sure.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Ryan. We've had some exciting things happen this week, as always. Every day it's exciting, isn't it?
It is.
And Ryan's going to tell us a little bit about something that came in the door today. But first, I want to start off the show with something different. I want to start with a trivia question, and I promise I'll give you the answer a little bit later on. So you guys ready? Here's a trivia question. Who was the first fully animated female sex symbol? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because we have one in our upcoming auction in August.
Sex symbol?
Who was the first, besides me, who was the first fully animated, animated is the key word here, female sex symbol? That is the trivia question, and I promise to give you an answer later.
Hey, good. Okay. So I have to jump in here and say to Ryan, did we not have a fun trip this week going and looking at antiques?
Yeah, absolutely. Wednesday was a really cool day.
Yeah, you know, we drove several hours out of town and looked at a collection that, you know, from the photos, it looked good.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like good stuff, or we probably wouldn't have taken the trip.
Yeah.
But when we walked in the door, wasn't it?
The wow factor was definitely
better
there.
than expected. And ladies and gentlemen, I wish we could be showing you a picture right now of some of the stuff, but you'll be seeing it all soon enough by looking at DonleyAuctions.com. Go to our website and visit. But Ryan, being in the sports industry as you are, let's start to talk about
that portion.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, when we went in, I will start that this collection is, I don't know if eclectic would be the correct word, but they had a nice, it wasn't a monotonous collection where you had some sports, you had some antiques, you had some advertising, and everything was very good. None of it was, as I say, mids or lower. It was all really good stuff.
Right. These people had a good eye for what they were buying over the years and collecting. There's no doubt.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And so the part that really got me was we took in the Babe Ruth photograph framed that was at the New York Yankee Stadium front office from, I believe, the mid-20s till 76 or 78 when they renovated the front office. And at that point, it went to, for the baseball fanatics out there, you would know the name. The name is Gene the Stick Michaels. He was a player, and he was a good ball player, but what he really excelled in was being in the management field. And what he is most noted for is assembling the New York Yankees in the 90s.
Well, there's a nickname for you. How would you like to be called the Stick? That could be taken many ways. But what you were just saying, I think the key word in everything you just said is the. It is not one of. It is the
one and only.
One and only.
One and only.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, how cool if you're going to have a souvenir out of the Yankees head office, their main office. Wouldn't you want something from Babe Ruth?
Yep.
I mean, this is the big portrait that they had in their office, hanging there for years, like you said, from about 1927 right until the building was remodeled and everything.
Yeah.
Every celebrity, every star that entered that office looked at that picture of Babe.
Yep.
Brian, can you describe to our listeners what it looks like, how big it is? Because you had mentioned something about it being painted.
It's an original photograph. That's what they did was they hand painted all around the image of Babe Ruth
Like the silhouette
mid-swing. Yes.
of him. Okay.
So
No, it's not a silhouette, hon. It's the picture. The painting is they painted out the background.
They painted out the background. Yes.
Right.
and
Okay.
it's silver. And it's still an original frame that when it held it in New York at the stadium, you still see the drill holes.
The original screw holes from where it was hanging on the
Love
wall.
it.
It has a Babe Ruth
And a
plaque on it.
silver nameplate on the base. Oh, it is just so cool. And to think, I mean, the Babe himself stood there and looked at that in the office.
Yeah, yeah.
He must have been pretty proud.
And you think of, I mean, the New York Yankees, you think about Babe Ruth as the most iconic one, but I mean, after him, Joe DiMaggio. And one of the coolest parts of that collection, or that part, is that the consignor actually has a framed photo of Roger Maris. And this is a really slick photo of Roger Maris. He's got a top hat on, dress coat, sharp looking, and right over his left shoulder, you could see the picture of Babe Ruth, the same photo
Hanging on the wall.
hanging on the wall at New York Yankees.
Fabulous,
and that's
yeah.
going to be fun for us during the research of this item and everything, because I'm sure we're going to come up with a lot of famous celebs and baseball players standing in that office with that picture of Babe behind them.
Yep. It's I'm very excited to kind of start, rolling up my sleeves and doing some background on it.
And what's always so key, ladies and gentlemen, we keep talking about if you have items, provenance is the key. And this just has tons of provenance. It has a letter of authenticity. We know what collection it went into from behind, when it was originally sold, who got it, where it went. So we can trace its lineage all the way from the Yankees office to the Donnelly's office.
Exactly.
Because it's in
The
our
pedigree.
office right now,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen.
Close loop.
So
Did I ever tell you I used to play co-ed softball and I had a nickname? My nickname was Babe. Can I just throw that out there?
please do.
Well, take it from there. I was on my jacket and everything. It said Babe. I still have it.
Okay, well, there's Susan's tie-in with
That's
Babe Ruth.
The
10 minutes of fame.
the other super cool part that they consign with us also is I have a 1950s Brooklyn Dodgers team signed baseball with a very young Jackie Robinson's autograph right on Broadway. And this ball is in such mint condition, it is still in its original Spalding wrapper.
That's amazing.
It's like it came from a time capsule. I almost fell
Ryan
over
was,
when
like,
I saw
stumbling his words when he saw it. Oh, Susan, you got to see this. Look at this.
And that is the fun of this business. It's a constant treasure hunt. We never know what we're going to run into from one day to the next. So if you're listening out there and you said, "Hey, I can top that,"
Yes,
please
please do.
we need you to email us, write us, call us with your sports memorabilia, because with this as an anchor, with the Babe Ruth portrait as an anchor, we're going to build an unbelievable sports auction coming out of this. So consign.
Yes. So
Absolutely.
if you have something like that, email us at consign, CONSIGN, at DonleyAuctions with an S.com. Or if you'd rather give us a call and ask for Ryan, Ryan will take your call, 815-923-7000. We'd love to hear from you.
And I'll tell you, if the Babe doesn't bring the butts to the seats, I don't think anything will. So
Butts to the seats.
if you have any sports memorabilia, you cannot. I mean, I couldn't think of a better spot. I really couldn't. What else would you want as a lead? I mean,
Right.
it
You
doesn't
bet.
get any better than that. I mean, I guess it could, but
I
it'd
mean,
be
I'm
hard.
not a sports memorabilia collector, but I just might be after seeing what's coming in the door here.
Well, just today I saw you in the office talking with a gentleman. What was that autographed football? I mean, that was a pretty
Yeah.
cool item.
Yeah, I took in and I'll be sending it out for authentication. But it is a football that was autographed from the 1977 NFL Players Association Awards Banquet, which was in downtown Chicago. It has not only one, but two Walter Payton autographs, which in 77, that's a very young Walter Payton.
Very.
and then it has Muhammad Ali's autograph on there, and
Well, that's what's
Ed
so
Harvey
cool
was on
is
there.
is there's signatures on there in the sports world, that aren't necessarily football players, but because they were at the Sports Association banquet.
Right.
So, what a neat crossover item.
yeah, no, and as far as its appearance, it's red, white, and blue, which to me makes it super
better,
cool.
yeah.
I'd love to have that on
Yeah,
my.
Walter Payton, my favorite.
And in this collection, there again that we went out to look at and we did consign, there were just so many other items that we already have auctions for, like the advertising. I mean, there was a sign there, a 28-foot long sign from a drugstore right from Cary, Illinois.
Yes.
So that's really fun because there's a photograph of it. Again, provenance. We've got a photograph of this sign right on the building. I mean, how neat is that?
Yeah.
Speaking of signs, I can talk a little bit about some of my favorite advertising pieces that came in. I talked last week about some Petroliana signs and the history behind the companies. Well, this week I thought I would talk about specific people that have advertising signs. So, for example, you want to hear the answer to my trivia question? All right, trivia question was,
What if we say no, Susan?
well, you don't get to say that. Who was the first fully animated female sex symbol? The answer is Betty Boop. And we
Betty
have
Boop.
Betty Boop.
You know how few people out there listening today would even know who Betty Boop
I
is?
bet some of those people would have guessed it.
Oh, my goodness
Well, now I'm
sakes.
going to tell you a little bit more because we have a Betty Boop fiberglass figure and umbrella stand. She stands, what did we measure today? About 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
She isn't just a cartoon character, Randy.
Well,
She's a cultural icon.
Well, what's interesting about Betty Boop is I think when people see the image, they're going to go, oh, that's Betty Boop? Because I'll bet a lot of people have seen this, kind of cartoon character for years and years and years, but never knew the name.
Maybe not. Well,
Yeah.
now they do. That's why I'm here. I'm here to tell you.
Well,
she was
once again, we're on radio. we can't be showing the image, so you have to go to DonnellyAuctions.com and see what we're talking about. And
Remember,
even
she had
this,
the big eyes and the pouty lips and the short skirts, and she was very flirty.
Oh, that
That's
refers to
Betty
an awful
Boop.
lot of people I know.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, she was created in 1930 by animator Max Fleischer. She was inspired by Flapper Girls of the Roaring Twenties. Did you know that?
Wow.
Yeah, she's a cutie. Anyway, I love this umbrella stand that we have. She was the first fully animated female sex symbol because she challenged the norms with short dresses, high heels. She had a flirtatious charm.
We talk about
She was
all the time.
censored a lot too.
Words that we use, in this industry that we just assume everybody knows. I bet there's people out there that don't even know what a flapper girl would be referred to. Yeah. I mean, it's a style of clothing that women wore and a dress style and at a period of time, probably 1920s for the most part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She even has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Ah,
Betty
really?
Boop does, yes. Timeless icon.
I would have never believed that at that period of time they would have put a star for an animated figure. That's really amazing.
So just some useless trivia that everybody needs to know. And just a real quick background on her. She was heavily influenced by a singer named Helen Kane, but the style really originated from Esther Jones, who was a jazz performer known as Baby Esther.
Baby
So
Esther,
they
of course.
fought in court over it because Helen said that she was taking her likeness and she sued and she lost because Baby Esther had a sound film performing in court proving her influence, and which led to Helen Kane's defeat. So she didn't win the lawsuit because it was really after the jazz singer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
So that's that coming up in August 16th, our summer classic. Check out our website at DonnellyAuctions.com for more information on that.
Well, another item that I think we touched on last week, but really didn't have it in our possession yet, but we picked it up this week, is a huge, huge leaded glass window, 9 foot tall, 6 foot across, arch top. That is a Tiffany style window. featuring
beautiful.
Romeo and Juliet.
Right. I saw it took 6 guys to bring it in.
Oh,
That's
the
amazing.
weight of it. Well, you think it's glass and lead.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's
heavy.
a very big piece. Yeah, it's
Well
heavy.
done.
The window itself, we pulled out of a Chicago suburb, and it had to have originated in one of the major mansions over the years, and we don't have it nailed yet exactly where it came from. We'll be able to, this is such a phenomenal piece. We have to now our job is to do the research to figure out not only what building it came out of, but what artist did it. Because even though it's Tiffany style, everybody refers to as leaded glass windows as Tiffany windows. Well, there's very few Tiffany windows. Tiffany is a very, very rare window to actually find one that was made by the Tiffany company. And then even Tiffany himself, the company had many, many artists like Lafarge and some very well-known artists, many of which went out on their own, making leaded glass windows, leaded glass lamps, and everything. So it's important not only to find out what company, what artist, what building it was made for. That'll all add to the provenance of the windows.
Do you remember when we had some real Tiffany windows out of a church?
Wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that a couple years ago, and they were literally buried underneath dirt and
That's
in
a
the
fact.
ground.
That's a
and
fact.
did the church burn down?
Well, the church burned down. Here's
What's
the
the
craziest story. The church in the city of Chicago, a church had a fire, and the windows were actually first taken out of the church and stored so that they could be replaced. And the church elected not to return these same windows, so the architect actually ended up taking the windows as partial payment for work that he did on the restoration project and everything. Well, fast forward, they ended up in a man's backyard where they were stored under a camper top of a pickup truck. And they were laying in mud and dirt and everything, and they were just in horrible
seeing them.
shape.
They were horrible.
And a friend of ours found them, reframed them so that they were stabilized and everything, and of course we ended up acquiring them for auction, and they did very well. I don't remember the numbers, but they ended up going overseas. Yeah.
Ireland.
To Ireland, right. There you
Remember
go.
how those were really big too, and we had it lit from behind. It was gorgeous.
Just beautiful, yes. And but they were original Tiffany windows, documented to the company, and of course, money is always good, but having all the
provenance.
Yeah.
So if you can top that story too, give us a call at 815-923-7000 or send us an email of your Tiffany windows at consign@donleyauctions.com. Don't
or
forget
lamps and
lamps too.
Yes, what you need to know, folks, is you have to be so careful, because so often what happens to people is you've had a lamp or a window or something in your home forever. It's been passed down your whole life. You remember this being in the home and everything, and you might have heard stories about it, you might not, and so on. But a lot of times you don't understand the true value of some of these things. And there are Tiffany lamps that actually do go into the $1 million figure, but it's not at all unusual for real Tiffany lamps that are found in attics and basements all the time to be going 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. We're talking serious numbers here. And very often, these are the kind of things that show up in garage sales and house sales, and they're purchased for hundreds of dollars when they should be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I have a question for my experts here. What do our listeners need to look for to identify whether or not it is real Tiffany?
Well, many of them, of course, are signed, and that would be in the collar or along the base, a small little piece of lead, a specific nameplate in the lead. But a lot of them are not. Therefore, you really do need to send us photos, and we'll give you our opinions, on the spot. We'll give you our opinions, and many of these things need to actually be seen in person, and then investigation has to be done.
Right. That's great to know. Thank you.
Just like what we're doing right now. Let's go back to Babe Ruth. Let's circle back to Babe Ruth. We don't know what that piece is worth right now.
We do not. That
Because
was my question: is what do you think
it's
the
the
value
only
is?
one.
It's the only one.
The
There's
one and
not
only.
going to be a second Babe Ruth a photo
Autograph.
come out of
Right.
the Yankees office. If you want great Babe Ruth memorabilia, great Yankees memorabilia, and the combination of both, this is it. And that's why I say, when Ryan said that says it all.
Absolutely. And, going back to, the sticks, his collection, from what I understand, was one heck of a collection. And this is where it came out of. And, just to give you a little background, again, he was a player, but he was also integral in developing the New York Yankees championship dynasties of the 90s and 2000s. So he is responsible for recruiting Derek Jeter, Pettit, Posada, Mariano Rivera.
Was Steinbrenner in charge then?
I believe so. I believe
just going
so.
back to my favorite Seinfeld episodes with Steinbrenner and the Yankees.
It's the same time period,
Okay.
and actually, if you revisit Michael's history, he was after he was a player, he also coached. He actually coached the Cubs, I believe, from '84 to '85, and he was like 10 games under 500. But him and George Steinbrenner had a tumultuous relationship where I believe that he criticized Steinbrenner twice, and he got fired twice and rehired twice.
Wow.
So that's probably why he was in the recruiting end and not the front end, is what I'm guessing. But he had such a impact on the New York Yankees. When he died, for the remainder of the season, the New York Yankees wore a black band around their arm in remembrance of this man. So
Nice.
that is the guy who
There's some respect.
it went from the New York Yankees to him to one other person or to two other people, and then now you could be the third. So it doesn't get much better than that. I'll
When
tell
do you think we'll have that up for auction?
I think we're hopeful for October.
October,
October
our
it is.
October sale, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be phenomenal. If you've got great stuff, this is where you want to be in October 23rd through the 25th.
I think we're going to have one full day of just sports memorabilia.
Yeah.
We are planning that, but right now we've maybe only got a quarter of a day of really good pieces. So we've got a lot of openings. If you have sports memorabilia, you need to call us or contact us now, because again, if you want old Randy Donnelly to make it fit in your wallet, you have to do your part.
Right.
And your part is to get off dead center, make the
Make the
call, make the email, whatever it takes. But you have to get motivated, and that's what we hope we're doing for you, is explaining that this stuff can't happen on its own. You are the person that needs to make the first step, and that is with a call or an email.
Did we come up with a jingle yet for our phone number? 815-923-7000. I need a jingle, everybody. So that'll be a good way to
Because
remember.
that isn't it.
Well, if you're driving and you can't write it down, you got to be able to remember it.
Okay.
And
Give us a call.
I'd also like to just mention, too, that I lucked out that this Babe Ruth was, 70 miles away. But truly, if I had to go to Oklahoma to come pick this thing up, I would have been there. So we will, for good material, we will
travel,
travel.
absolutely.
100%.
Travel nationwide, folks. You guys are always out somewhere flying on planes, driving
Oh, yeah.
back.
Me and
Taking
Randy
field
were in
trips.
Jacksonville.
As I do quotation fingers, field trips, yeah.
The
bet
only
you are.
disappointment in that is coming home and finding out, oh, while you were gone, you missed so-and-so and
Yeah.
so-and-so. The people that we miss. So if you want to see Susan, Randy, or Ryan, or any of our staff, please do call us for an appointment, because we'd love to see you too. We don't want you to get here and not be here. So
Right. You guys have things going on pretty much every day of the week. So, again, the phone number is 815-923-7000.
We've got another whole segment coming up, and what I'd like to throw out there as a teaser, so you want to come back after the commercials, is we're going to be talking about the collection of Ted London and his incredible arcade collection of slot machines, jukeboxes, penny trade stimulators, and everything that we are going to be selling both in the August auction, which is just around the corner, and October. So when we come back, let's talk more about
Ted's collection. And don't forget the August auction that we keep referring to is our August Summer Classic, because it's still going to be hot outside. August 16th. It's Saturday. It's one day only, and we are working our way up to 800 lots that day. It's going to be phenomenal. And then if for some reason you just can't get off dead center and want to get something in, October would be the next one for coin-op advertising, Petroliana cars, things like that, October 23rd through the 25th. But don't go anywhere, folks, because like Randy said, we're going to be talking about Ted's collection. So don't go anywhere, folks. You're listening to the Donnelly Auctions Hour right here every Saturday, 7 p.m. on WLS 890 AM. Welcome back to the Donnelly Auctions Hour. Don't forget, we're here every Saturday at 7 p.m. on WLS 890 AM. And we are in the studio today with a special guest, right, Randy?
That we are. We've got, well, first, one special guest always is Mike Donnelly. Mike
special,
is here today.
All right.
And today we're sitting here with Ted London. Ted has been a friend of ours for how many years, Mike?
40, over 40.
Over 40 years.
Since
Ted,
the 70s from
You've
the
known
phonograph.
Randy
Ted,
longer
welcome,
than I have.
welcome to the show, Ted.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
So let's start out with what you're doing today. Now, Ted London, you have to own by far the best antiques mall anywhere.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Well, thank you.
It's
I
incredible. And it's where?
Woodstock, Illinois.
Now, why do you call it the Rockton Woodstock Antiques Mall?
Roscoe Woodstock.
Okay.
Years ago, we started in Roscoe, Illinois. Got an offer to occupy a building in South Beloit. It was a better building, so we moved there, but kept the name because we were established. We were there for 22, 23 years. We outgrew that building. The building in Woodstock became available. The lady died, and the daughter couldn't run it. She came to us for help. We ended up buying the place and kept the name Roscoe because of being established for 23 years, and just added Woodstock into the name.
Yeah, which was also a great.
And I gotta tell you, I mean, the mall was good before you purchased it, but you've like put this mall on steroids. It's the best of the best. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. We're proud of what you've done there.
Thank you.
But let's go back to the 1980s, wouldn't you say, Mike?
Yeah.
In the 80s, when we first met, you were already dealing in slot machines and coin op, which is pretty much what you've been best known for, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
I mean, high quality antiques, yes, but you're a guru in the coin op world, coin operated instruments, slot machines, jukeboxes, penny machines, gambling equipment. It's just incredible. But years and years ago, you, Mike, and we started what was probably in almost nationwide the first slot machine auction.
Yeah.
One of them.
It was 1980, right after we put up the building.
Yeah. The only other person doing anything like that was Roy Arrington. Otherwise, there was nobody.
And Roy Arrington operated Victorian Casino auctions, which was in Las Vegas.
Correct.
That's how it got its casino name. So there was us in Illinois and Roy Arrington in Las Vegas with no other auction houses really specializing in what we were doing. But as life would have it, we all had other things to do and did not stay focused on the auction business.
True.
So you went and from that point we're pretty much doing antiques. What? Tell us what you were up to after that.
I was playing in bands and buying and selling vintage guitars. Between the two, I was on the road for many years, and finally decided that life wasn't conducive to, that life wasn't conducive to family life, excuse me, and decided to be done and go back to what I had initially done, and the business I had grown up in was in antiques, and here I am.
Have you been a collector as well, Ted?
Yes.
What did you collect?
Cast iron toys, Chicago World's Fair items, and coin op, mid-'60s. My dad bought an estate out, and we were cleaning it out, and I'm digging around, cleaning out from under the workbench in the garage, and here, covered up with a blanket, shoved to the back, was a slot machine. And you had to hide them back then. They were illegal. It was a federal offense. And I thought, this is too cool. I said to my dad, we're not selling this. We're keeping this. And I did. And that was the first machine. And then I got another one. And then I got one that didn't work. So.
Do you still have that machine, that original one you had from your dad?
No, but I do have the first gumball machine I bought.
Okay, good.
And I got one that didn't work. And there were no books. You couldn't look in the phone book under Fred's slot machine repair. And if I wanted it to work, I'd have to fix it. And it just all grew from there. People found out I could fix them. And that's what I've been doing.
So Ted goes on with life, buying and selling. Mike, you and I, we continued to operate Wild West Town, which was a family business, tourist attraction. But we all continued to deal.
We're always buying and selling, yeah.
Buying and selling slot machines, jukeboxes, anything coin operated. And then part of the purpose of this interview is to let everybody out there know that the next couple auctions, certainly August, and then a repeat again in October, we're selling off a big part of the Ted London collection, which I have to say is fabulous, Ted.
Thank you.
Your collection has just grown and become one of the nationally known collections.
That's right. The first round of the Ted London collection coming up on Saturday, August 16th. We have so many great items in that auction that we're going to continue on with part 2 of the Ted London collection, October 23rd through the 25th, which is our fall classic.
And I keep saying, the fact that we're on the radio, you can't really get a visual of what we're talking about. So I encourage you to go right to your computers, even right now while we're on the air, and follow along with us, because you can go to DonleyAuctions.com and see everything we're talking about. All the items from the August auction are already online, and you can bid
online.
on. Yeah.
In our catalog. Yes, it's Donley, DONLEY, auctions.com.
Hi, I'm Randy Donley from Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois, and I'm currently looking for old guns and military items for upcoming auctions. Old helmets, uniforms, swords, flags, and daggers from any wars are always sought after, but World War II items of American, German, and Japanese armies are always top sellers. If you have old Japanese samurai-type swords that a relative brought back during the war, call me, because you could be sitting on a fortune.
But you won't know until you give us a call at 815-923-7000. That's 815-923-7000. Or you can send us photos at consign, CONSIGN, at DonleyAuctions.com. That's DONLEY, auctions.com. Check out our website for more information at DonleyAuctions.com about our upcoming auctions and a list of items that we need for the future.
So, Mike, what do you think about the August auction and Ted's collection coming up?
It definitely is. There's a lot of highlights in there that are going to be
I know, where do you
really
begin?
sought after. Yeah, where do you begin? There's so much great stuff over there.
Ted, I was impressed with the variety of items that you've put in this auction. For example, just in slot machines, you really run the gamut. You've got upright slot machines, which for experienced collectors, as I always refer to the words, the holy grail of slot machine collecting. If you don't have an upright, you're always hoping to find one at some point, getting rarer, getting scarcer, and then I see you bring in a whole collection of Jennings slot machines, every denomination, 1 cent, 5 cent, 10 cent, 25 cent, 50 cent, and $1. The whole collection.
Matching, a match set.
It's a match set.
Yeah.
I mean, people could look for years and years and not be able to put this together. So one thing an auction is always doing for you, ladies and gentlemen, is saving you a lot of time. In fact, you're selling that whole collection as one lot.
Right. 6 matching machines with 6 matching stands.
Wow.
You know, in all the years we've been doing this, I don't think I've ever seen a matching set like that.
No.
As far as I know, there's only 3 complete sets.
Wow.
And we're selling it as one lot, all 6 in one lot.
Yes.
Yeah, what a
Yeah.
great opportunity.
Yeah,
and,
it is.
And you know, I was so impressed when Ted, you decided to do that because, you know, you could probably get more money by piecing them out in this regard. When somebody decides they want the whole set, the auction process, very often people buy 1, 2, 3, now they've got 4 and they've got a couple machines to go. Well, now all of a sudden they can't stop and they have to bid more and more and more, and they can really get caught up in spending. And when I mentioned that to you, you said, but I don't want to do that to the collectors. You know, you wanted, if you're going to sell the set, you wanted to make sure that somebody had the absolute fairest, legitimate way to buy it as a set. So I really applaud you on that.
Well, thank you.
So, what else? What would be all the items you put in there? We've got slot machines. We've got jukeboxes. We've got arcade equipment. We've got an unbelievable amount of great advertising from you. And what would be your favorite item if you picked one item? What's probably your favorite item that you're putting in this auction?
Probably the Pace Kitty slot machine.
Oh.
Extremely rare. There were not many of them made. It's the Pace equivalent of a Mills Futurity. If you go long enough without hitting a winner, you get this little smaller jackpot. You'll get your coins back after, I can't remember how many plays, but it's a rare machine. I happen to have 2 of them, which is why I'm selling one. But in over 50 years of serious collecting, these 2 are only the second and third that I've not only owned, but had the opportunity to buy. They don't trade hands publicly. They always go from dealer to, or collector to collector.
Well, and you bring up a very, very good point in that I use this term all the time too. There's this little sliver of time when these things are available. These items that you've had for all these years haven't been available for sale at all. You've collected them up, and they've been collected up now by you probably 20, 30, 40 years, and in some cases without ever being for sale. Now here they come available at this auction. If you don't buy these items now, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to get collected up again. They'll be gone for another 20 years off circulation, and that's quite an achievement to get something now.
Can I tell you my favorite item in the auction?
Please
Ted and I
do.
were just talking about it a few minutes ago. Is the Voigt Cigar Company match vendor. I love
Yes.
all things Tabacchiana. My dad, I'm not a smoker, but my dad was a cigar smoker, so I love the cigar cutters, the match vending, all of that. So I tried to look up the Voigt Cigar Company, couldn't find any information on it. Ted, what can you tell us about it?
I've researched it, and the best I could come up with was that they were a distributor in Cincinnati, which is where I got that machine. I got that from a well-known collector who's now deceased, died a couple of years ago, Dick Hines. A lot of you people may know of him. I believe the machine to be a Mills because of the torches on the front. Very similar to other Mills machines, but I've never seen one with this exact casting. But on the underside in the front, under where the matches, box matches come out, there is the name Voigt or Vogt.
Yeah, what's sure how to pronounce that?
VOGHT Cigar Company.
VOIGT.
Is there an I in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Voigt Cigar Company. I believe,
Cincinnati.
yeah, Cincinnati, Ohio. I believe they were a distributor, but I've never seen that name come up anywhere other than
It's
on
a
this
beautiful
machine.
1-cent machine coming up at our August auction. It's lot number 1140. It is very rare. But I do have some information about cigars, and I bet Mike Donnelly can answer this one. Do you know where the phrase "close but no cigar" originated? Come on, smart man.
Man.
You know all these. He knows all these.
I know
Close
that.
but no cigar. Ted, what do you got?
Before there were slot machines, as we envisioned a slot machine to look at, there were poker machines. They were given free to places that sold cigars if you bought enough. It's called a trade stimulator. They had 5 reels, and they would spin, and you try to get a poker hand. And if you got, just like cards, the higher the combination, the more cigars you would win. But if you did not get a winning combination, the location operator would say to you, "Close, but no cigar."
Wow.
That's correct. I read that it was carnival games, but I can't imagine they used to give out cigars as prizes to the kids at carnival games.
No.
No, so that makes more sense that it would be a trade stimulator.
You know,
Yeah.
when I asked what your favorite item was in the auction, I really thought you were going to say that unbelievable Packard automotive sign
yes.
that you brought
Oh,
in.
yeah.
What a great piece, Mike. I mean, it's porcelain and neon.
Yeah. Was that
It's
from a
beautiful.
dealer, Ted? Or?
That came with a collection that I bought out of Sharon, Wisconsin, about a year ago. I'd worked on getting this collection for 8 years. The guy wouldn't sell it. He had sold me a few pieces over the years. He initially sought me out at our other mall. He called me 2 days after I'd stopped by to show my wife the collection. She had never been there. He wasn't ready, but he had been thinking about it. He called me 2 or 3 days after we were there. Said, "Ted, I'm ready to sell." I said, "What changed your mind?" He says, "Well, my vision has been fading, and it finally went. I can't see anymore, and there's no sense having that
Wow.
collection if I can't see it."
Well,
Oh, that's sad.
And so I went over and paid him and hauled 2 truckloads of stuff out of there. There was other great signs there. Over 2,000 old cans. He had originally owned a standard station in Sharon, Wisconsin.
standard gas station.
Yes.
Correct. Yep.
That his dad had owned, and he inherited, ran it all his life, and collected all this stuff. And I bought the entire collection.
That's great. That beautiful Packard neon sign coming up in our August Summer Classic is lot number 1297B as in boy, 1297B. Check it out at DonnellyAuctions.com.
Now, Ted, I don't want to put you on the spot. This is an unrehearsed radio show. You came in as a guest, but I have to say, and without using names of any other companies, please, I have to say this. I'm very proud that you chose Donnelly Auctions as your auction house because I happen to know certainly that you've done business with many, many auction houses, and a lot of people have been after you to sell your collection through them, but you chose Donnelly. Is that just because we're friends for 40 years?
That's part of it, but also because of honesty, location, several reasons. There were no negatives. Everything about doing business here is a positive. I've never had a bad experience here.
Wow.
Thank you, Ted.
Thank you so much for
Integrity
that.
is everything, and we use that a lot in our taglines. I hope people understand how seriously we take our integrity.
And that's again why we do things like this radio show. We try to be out there and transparent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're putting it out there for you, week after week. Now we're on WLS 890 AM, our new home for the radio show. And what is this? Every
Every Saturday at
Every
7
Saturday.
p.m. Dial in.
You bet. And again, that's why we bring people like Ted on to talk to you and answer questions. We're so happy too that you have been responding to us, ladies and gentlemen. We've asked what you want to hear from us, and that's what we're trying to give back to you. So keep your comments coming in. Let us know what you would like us to be talking about, and
Oh, I would love to hear from you. You can email us at marketing@donleyauctions.com if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions. We will listen to you. Also, Ted, I just want you to know we are very happy that you brought your collection to us, and we're treating it as if it was our own. As you can see, we do that with all of our consigners, but we want to make sure you know that we are partners in this, and we look forward to the big auction in August. Thank you.
You're welcome.
so a reminder, I'll keep this up. Go to Donley Auctions, DONLEY auctions.com. You can see the August auction online right now.
One of the other items, this is not a Ted London item, but it is back to the Tobacciana category, is that Philip Morris sign. Philip Morris cigarettes. Does anybody remember that? We have a 3.5 foot tall, I think it's artboard or cardboard standee. And Randy, I was hoping you could do the little
Call for Philip Morris!
Yes, that's way before my time, but apparently that was
So
They did that.
What was it? Did that come out of a movie, or how did that start? Mike, you got an idea?
Mike knows.
No, actually, there was one of the advertising executives for Philip Morris was sitting in a hotel lobby, and he saw this bellboy. His name was Johnny. I forget his last name.
Rovatini.
Okay, he was a real person. He was a bellboy in this hotel, and he was walking through the hotel paging people. Call for so and so. Call for so and so. And he liked his voice, and it popped into his head that he might be in advertising, somebody using their advertisement. So he went up to the front desk and said, "Page Philip Morris, please." And he went back, sat down. So here comes Johnny walking through the hotel lobby. Call for Philip Morris. And they hired him on the spot.
And he had no idea it was a cigarette brand that's not really.
He had
a
no idea. He was
person,
actually
yeah.
auditioning.
Wow.
He was actually auditioning.
And that became the rest of his life.
Yes.
The rest of his career. And they were paying him. This is back in, I think, the 30s.
In the 30s, yeah. He
Yeah.
worked for them for 40 years.
They started him out at $50,000 a year. Now
Get
imagine,
Yes.
out of here!
imagine that back in the 30s.
Oh my
It
God!
was a fortune. $50,000.
And he was short, like little boy size. He wasn't short
He's-
as in a midget, but
No,
he
he's
was
just short,
the size of like a 8 or 9 year old boy.
3 feet 11 inches tall. He weighed 59 pounds. He was the smallest bellboy in the world, making $50,000 a year.
Well,
Oh, my
That
God.
standee is probably life size.
It could be.
Could be.
It's 3.5 feet tall. Yeah.
Wow!
It's like one of my favorite little advertising pieces in the auction coming up in August. But he also had his voice reportedly insured
I'll bet he
for
did.
$50,000, which was a testament to his value
Wow!
in
Wow!
advertising for sure. He never got married. He lived with his mother. He enjoyed sailing in his retirement. So there's a little history on Johnny Reventino, who was the brand ambassador for Philip Morris cigarettes, which is a 3.5 foot tall sign we have coming up in our August auction. Check out our website at donleyauctions.com. That's DONLEY auctions with an S.com.
Mike, what's your favorite item in the auction?
I think probably the Dodge Charger, the 69 Dodge Charger. I really like that.
It's a beauty.
Being a muscle car.
You know,
guy.
it's funny because we're not talking a lot about cars. We've got several cars in this auction, and yeah, that Charger, that's a car with a great story on it. It's a 2-owner car, but one family, mother and son have owned it. It's only got what 40,000 miles on it.
It's being sold at no reserve, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, this is a no reserve, car auction here. This particular car, I should say, has no reserve on it. It's being sold to the highest bidder. Yeah, that's an incredible item.
And it's lot number 1301 coming up in our August auction. Check it out. It's signal green, and it's a beauty.
Yes, it is. And we have a couple other cars too. We have a Model A Cabriolet. I think it's 29 Cabriolet, and no, is it 29? And then we have a 30 or 31 Coupe. Also
And
the
those are
Model T.
remnants of the Dvorak collection.
Correct. Yeah, we have bids on them, and
Sometimes things don't get paid for it. We have to resell them. Yeah. So here we go with those items, and that reminds me. This has to do with nothing really, other than the fact that Ted, years ago, you sold my motorcycle for me.
Yes.
my motorcycle that I rode all through high school and into my 20s, but when I got married, I thought it was time to hang up my motorcycle boots, and you sold my old 1940 Harley for me. So
I bet you'd like to get that back, huh?
If you remember back on that, I just gave you the wad of cash that they had paid me with. One of the $100 bills was a counterfeit. Remember, you called me up and said, "Hey, this counterfeit bill in here." I'd never seen one. I didn't know, but I came over and paid you for it, and I don't know what I did. I think I took it to.
I bet you passed it off.
I don't know what
I don't think that bill's still hanging in your office.
No, it's not. But I thought that was a shocker.
Wow. Okay, so what else have we got for this week, you guys? Come on, we've got a
Time
whole
out,
show
Ted.
to fill up
Time
here.
out. All right, Ted, back to you. I know
So-
you brought so many coin-op machines and advertising, but one of my favorite items in the display case is the Craigston Astronaut Robot. Tell us about this wonderful wind-up toy.
It's not the usual robot that's battery operated. 99% of them are. This is, if you know what a friction toy is, the toys that you push them on the carpet or on the floor, and they'll continue to run for a minute or so and go across the floor. This robot is a wind-up with a friction motor in it, and it will walk on its own. No batteries, no handheld remote or anything. I've never seen another one. That doesn't mean that they only made one, but it's the only one I've seen.
Pretty cool.
Okay, you can check out that Craigston Astronaut Robot toy. It's rare. It's in our August auction coming up on August 16th. Ted, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today. Love talking to you, as always.
So for now,
I'm Mike.
I'm Ted.
I'm Susan.
and I'm Randy Donnelly, and we'll see you at the auction.